Hello, everybody. We're back again with talking about the predictions for the election, and the how would you put it? The attendance, I suppose, of election people turning up to vote, the percentage of people turning up to vote, etc., in different constituencies. So obviously, straight away off the bat, it's improved a lot from earlier on, particularly now, just gone 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock. It's improved significantly across the whole country, which is great to see. Again, the majority of people would probably vote after work or when they get time in the evenings, not mainly in the morning because a lot of people have work, etc., etc. And not many people would get up at 7 o'clock specifically to vote. So there's a huge amount of people. You look at the numbers now. I'm just looking after looking at them for the last hour here, coming in and out from different constituencies around the country. The numbers are definitely higher than earlier on this morning, because this morning was a ghost town in a lot of places. So the numbers are definitely 100% higher. Now, before we say anything else, the exit poll is coming out at 10 o'clock. We will be live probably then. We'll be only live for about an hour here again, give or take the 7. We chat about other stuff because there's other stuff happening in the background too, in terms of the campaigns, etc., what's being said. So obviously a lot of stuff. So basically we'll be here until 7 o'clock now, and then later on at 10 o'clock we'll be live for a good while talking about the polls that will be coming out at 10 o'clock. And basically that'll be a lot of details too. So basically we're just talking because there's a huge increase now in the last hour amount of people, and it probably will be. So it could be actually a lot more than we thought it would be later on. So it could be in the 60% of the voter base that could be voting. So which is a good thing. Nobody's arguing. It's not against good thing. Hello, Tony. Good day. How are you doing? I hope you're looking forward to Cal Nolan being elected. Because particularly Offaly, Tullamore is doing very well. Like Tullamore is like basically running the show, one of the highest in the country, particularly of people voting. So hopefully they're all voting for Cal Nolan. Hopefully. So yeah, but there's a lot to talk about. Because I'm just after I'm looking at through it all, and we have the latest from Tipperary, other parts of the country. We go through it now just so because it's really interesting to suppose see, because comparing this to 3 o'clock when I came home from work, and comparing that to before 3 o'clock, for example, around that time, basically there was fuck all happening basically in terms of people going out. So all of a sudden now the whole hordes are ascending, to be totally honest. So and that's a good thing. Nobody can argue with that one. So yeah, we'll give it a second anyway. So yeah, just to say we will be live a good bit tomorrow too, just to say to people. Most likely 9:30 or so, because they're starting the count at 9 o'clock. So we most likely will be live at 9:30 or so. We talk because obviously we probably know a bit anyway, but by definitely 12 o'clock tomorrow, midday, we're going to know a good bit about who's been elected, who's not been elected, particularly in Cavan. We would have an idea if somebody gets a huge amount of votes, take for example. We're going to know if they won or not. Basically, if that makes any sense. So basically, you're going to you have to put up with me for a long time, basically today and tomorrow, and probably Sunday too. So you'll be sick of me for the next few days, basically. What I'm trying to say. Hello, Tina. How are you doing? Tina, I think it is Tina. I hope you're well. Hope you're having a good Friday so far. Good to see you. But yeah, so there is just an insane amount of stuff going on at the moment. Like just looking on social media too, it's very hard to gather. I know somebody asked me earlier on in the DM by going by social media, because I'm looking at a lot of stuff on X and on Facebook, etc. So there's getting the feel of what people are thinking, and it's kind of mixed, to be totally honest. Like there's not just one feeling. It's very mixed, to be totally honest. There's some people jumping up and down by Fianna Fáil. There's some people voting, giving out, jumping up and down by Sinn Féin. Some people like basically it's very even, to be totally honest. To be totally true, it's very even what's going on at the moment. Nobody's really out in front, if that makes sense. In my terms, of what I can see in social media. So I don't know, but that's why maybe other people see different. But that's what I'm seeing on social media at the moment. It's quite insane. But yeah, so no, just briefly touching. I went down. I was down for a walk towards the polling station where I am here. And there's a huge. Just talking to one of the people that was outside of it. In the last 2 hours, there's been a good few people coming, and obviously there are people nearly from work. But what they're expecting here, particularly the Christmas lights are going on here tonight, and obviously that's after Mass here. So there's going to be a huge amount of people now after 7 o'clock or so. So the hordes are going to descend here, basically, in this part of Cavan. afterwards, because the old vote basically come out after mass. So that's what's going to happen. And the majority of people in this area are senior citizens, etc., etc. So we see what happens there, because that's going to put up the numbers something extreme, especially in this area. In this area particularly, I'd say. But no, I just want to bring you something funny, I suppose, first of all. Now, I don't know I didn't really fact check this, but I suppose it looks to be true. So this is in Dublin West. This is to do with Aintu. Some candidate for Aintu, some supporter, like not supporter, but some candidate for Aintu. You can see it's not going too well for them. They have a yoke on them, what would you call this? This is what they put on. I don't know how they got it. I don't see a double yellow line or anything like that. Like, it looks like it's somewhere. But this is what it looks like anyway, so I don't know what to say about this one. But no, it's funny, just going back, just talking about this specifically for a second. It's funny because I have seen a few videos of people literally, like candidates' cars like that with their logos on the side of it, literally parking on sidewalks, literally parking in the middle of the road. Like this, it's serious. Some of what that he can do. Some of these candidates, they're just putting cars in the middle of the road, etc., etc. Do I have the right chat? I do. Okay. Just that reminded me earlier on when I seen that. So I don't know, but it's happening all over the country. Yeah, I suppose we get chatting about things. I don't know really what the start is that much. So I bring you up to date with Cavan and Monaghan at the moment, this constituency where I am, and what's happening. Hello, the thing we're doing. It's not going too bad. There's 100 million things going on, but apart from that, it's not going too bad with the election, obviously. So this is to do with it. So this is just a while ago, as I say, 4 o'clock. There, just where we went live. So this is the latest Willie and Cavan and Monaghan. What's happening? So as I say, 60,000 people in Cavan are total eligible. We all know this already. But yeah, the poll staffers are now saying in the last few hours that it's busier than the local Tory election, which is obvious. Not many people would really care about the local Tory election. So European elections, the general election, people more care about. So as you see in Belturbet, finally this morning, you were saying earlier on, Tony, about it too. Belturbet was desperate this morning. There was only about maybe 15 people that turned up from, it was very bad this morning. So it's really getting up there now in Belturbet. And the same in Cavan Town, it's getting up there. And Brewski, particularly, Brewski's doing very well as of 3 o'clock to get 20%. So it's probably more now as we speak. And Shercock, I don't know why everybody's turning up in Shercock, but everybody's going mad to vote in Shercock. And obviously Monaghan, etc., etc. The numbers are basically going up dramatically, which is a good thing to say. Sorry about that. As you can see, Mullahoe, Clonus. As I say, Clonus is doing well. This is the trend we've seen throughout the day. Clonus has been doing very well. Monaghan still has the best in terms of the whole Cavan and Monaghan constituency. Just to bring you up to date, that's the latest really on that. That story. It's as I say, we have no results yet. There's nothing really confirmed. We're just going by the turnout, because earlier on, do you remember I was here and I was saying the turnout is slow. It's kind of picking up a bit. It's picking up a bit in a lot of areas. Very quiet, yeah. In the referendum vote, yeah. You just literally voted. Did you just literally vote just now? Because we're going to look at some of the figures now, with the latest figures. Like earlier on, you remember I was saying it's picked up a lot now in Cavan in the last while, because I think a lot of people just are going to vote now. Just 5 minutes ago. that's literally now. But anyway, yeah. So we look at all these things just because it's interesting to see, because I've been looking at it again majority of the day, and I seen this morning, as I said to you in Cavan, it was dreadful this morning from 7 to 10. It was dreadful, and I mean literally dreadful. I'll get the figures back up here. So in Cavan Town, only 2.5% or something like that voted. Then Cavan Town, the big town in the county, nobody nearly voted at all. And it was pretty bad for the first few hours. Now it's getting up a good bit, so it's good to see. Because going by the figures this morning, even at 11 o'clock and 1 o'clock, it wasn't that great. In Tullamore, apparently, in Offaly, they're doing very well in Tullamore. Like in Offaly, they seem to be doing the best. I don't know why. Everybody wants to vote for Cowan Nolan, there must be. Like in Tullamore, they seem like everybody's going out. But in Cavan and Monaghan, if you ask them about it, it's Clonus and County Monaghan that's doing the best. There's a few other places. We look at the figures now. because it's interesting just to see. I know this is really terrible, but it's interesting to see. So this is to do with so obviously OT are live now. We probably should generally be watching OT, but this take for example, this is just have to come in Sligo, Leitrim. So you see the polling stations. Obviously, Leitrim has nobody really in it. It doesn't exist anyway. As you see, it's coming in now as we speak. It's coming in thick and fast. Earlier on, it was very slow. Now all of a sudden, the whole shebang is toning up. But you see here in Sligo, Leitrim. So as you see, one box of 46% in this area, Sligo. But Leitrim particularly, there'll be not many people in Leitrim because nobody lives in Leitrim. It's sheep, the majority of people go. But you can see it's quite a good bit of numbers, and I don't know. It doesn't say a time, but like when would this added? But there's 4 seats in Leitrim, but it's quite up, especially in Leitrim. As I say, there's not that many people, so there's only 32,000 people on the register in Leitrim, like in Leitrim itself. So the majority of it's in Sligo to be done in there. But take for example Donegal. At 5 p.m., 38% at 5 p.m., which is good. 28% by 5 p.m. is very good. And a turnout 51% in the Gaeltacht, like in the Gaeltacht, which is very good. So you can see here all the towns, etc., where it's picking up a good bit. Like in Letterkenny, it's very low. That's what I noticed. I looked through this before I went live. And Letterkenny is the lowest for some reason. Every other part of Donegal is doing well. Like this is like I forgot about to mention this one. Yeah, this one's doing very well in the Gaeltacht. Mostly probably Sinn Féin, I presume. That's where it's going, majority. But Letterkenny, for some reason, is falling behind the rest of Donegal for some reason. I don't know why that is. But then we go to Wicklow, etc., etc. Like it's interesting to see. Another jobs. Which are you talking to me? You're talking to politicians. Yeah, we can send them to other jobs. That's hate speech. Excuse me. But no, I just find this interesting. Like I find looking at the election, particularly again watching it from this morning, etc. When I was at work, and seeing the low turnout and etc. and to see it kind of uptake very quickly. Like it's really it's good to see it. So you see in Wicklow too, it's low in this part, but it's starting to get up there and then go away to Stones, etc. And Bray, etc. All the schools and stuff like that. So no Tipperary, like Tipperary's doing was one part of Tipperary. Where was it? Oh no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was one part of Tipperary. I can't remember exactly where it was. Yeah, Ballinard. It was doing very well. Like at one stage, this was the toppest in the country, basically, of the attendance. Carrick and Show, etc. Like you see too, by 5 p.m., nearly 39% of the people in that area voted. Like it's interesting to see the Petunians because looking at this, like I remember looking at this earlier on, particularly Wexford. I remember this May Glass. This barely had maybe 14%. At 1 o'clock this morning, in the evenings. I mean, not in the midday base. That's the way to phrase it. So it's quite a difference to see 16% and now 41%. That's what I'm saying. So the people are coming out in their droves, basically. If that makes any sense. So that's what's happening, really. But it's just interesting, like the whole figures. You can see people just came out in recent times. Like there's a whole lot of numbers, basically, but basically a lot of it's going up now in the last hour or two. So this is a new constituency here, and I was wondering myself, how would this go? So this is really a new constituency that they came up with, basically, and it's doing all right. You can see here it's doing good enough, numbers wise. Arklow Town is doing the best, obviously, in this constituency, but we don't know what time. It doesn't say exact time what time it was at. They took this at. But yeah, it just goes on and on and on. But it's quite high. Like on average, it's around 30 to 26, low 30s. So yeah, we go back up the page. But yeah, no, it's just interesting to see because early on I was looking at this. I looked at the exact same spreadsheets, and it was dreadful. To be totally honest, in the majority of the country, like even at 1 o'clock, it was dreadful. Like all of a sudden now the whole hordes are descending, basically. So in Dublin, somebody was asking me this earlier on. In Dublin, the moment Fingall is apparently on 46% turnout, which again you expect this in Dublin. It's a big population. You would expect a lot of people to turn up. There's no other information at the moment with Cavan and Monaghan, but so we don't know because there's some areas in Cavan and Monaghan I don't know what's the story in Kingscote up that direction. we haven't heard anything for Ballyconnor up that direction, Backline or anything like that. So I don't know what's the story up in them constituencies. So who knows? But yeah, what do we think? Because it has picked up now. Remember, when was it? An hour ago or 2 hours ago, I was live here and I was saying that the numbers wasn't great. Well, they're still maybe not that great in Cavan at the moment, but they're getting up there. They are getting up there slowly and gently. So I don't know. It could be in the 60 to 70 range. It could be now. Early on, I was a bit doubtful that it could be, but it could be. But still, looking at the figures from 2020, just looking at them briefly here when I'm looking at them, like it was a lot better throughout the day, basically. It was a lot better throughout the day. All of a sudden, it seems like everybody just wants to vote the last minute. Because even in 2020, throughout the day, it was kind of steady, if that makes any sense. Like the majority of the day here, like in Cavan and across the country, was kind of dead, the majority of it. So it's interesting to see that. Like it's a different trend, I suppose, compared to 2020 in the last election. Not so much the referendum. There was a lot of people. It was very busy now, the referendum, as Shawnee said there earlier on. So we do. I think it's going to be around probably 40-50% of the national turnout. At the moment, they seem to be predicting it's 30-something percent, and that's at 3:30. That was the last time it was predicted. So that's what it seems at the moment. So we should see, I suppose, what happens. But yeah, just to say, there's literally nearly only 4 hours left. Just to say to people, if anybody is going to vote or anything, I would suggest do it now as soon as possible if you can. Because again, we won't find 4 hours just fly by. 4 hours to be gone in no time. Like I've been up since must be I was awake at 4:30 or so. But I was up at 5. It's a long old day. It does feel very long. It feels like 2 days, to be totally honest. It generally does because it's that long of a day. With figures and stuff like. Because basically, I was walking and I was looking at figures. It was just basically all that every day, like all day today. So it is very tiring kind of thing. But it does feel very long. But anyway, so we're all getting steadily to it. But it's good to see that loads of people coming out now, particularly in one area. I can't remember what area it was. It was somewhere down the country that said about a good lot of young people going, particularly. So it's good to see that. Because at the end of the day, it's not just going to affect the next 5 years. Somebody said that yesterday. I think it was Ben Gilroy who said it. Sorry, maybe I'm wrong. I think he said that yesterday. But he said it's not just the next 5 years; it's the next few years, like the next 20 years. It's going to affect whoever gets in this government. He's right in saying that too, because it's not just going to affect 5 years; it's going to affect the next 20 years or the next 100 years of the state's history. Whatever policies this government implement, because we all know what they will implement. Particularly Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, and obviously Sinn Féin none the better. They implement the same policies as them again. So we shall see, but hopefully the people of Ireland understand, I suppose, the choices, I suppose. But again, that's democracy. If whatever the people decide, I suppose. But it's interesting now just looking at the figures, and it's quite interesting, especially because again I was looking at them throughout the day. It's just interesting to see different places that I was looking at this morning. That at one point, one place only had 3% turnout at 11 o'clock in one part of the country. Now it's on 30%. So it's interesting to see it just rise. Like this morning was dead for a long time, and now all of a sudden the hordes are descending. Like even in my local polling station down here, when I went down there about literally maybe 30 minutes ago, there's a few people turning up. There's a few people doing voting. But the majority of people will come later on. So it is very interesting to see. Close at 10. Yeah, I know we're close at 10, but we're just talking about the turnout, etc., etc. Because we need to get as many people out as possible. That's the thing. We need to get as many people out as possible to vote. That's what is needed at the moment. But yeah, we'll be here at 10 o'clock. We'll not be here up until 10. We're going to be here until 7 for the moment. just talking about different things that's coming up at the moment. But we will be live for 10 o'clock. We'll go through all the things. Like there's many other things to could talk about at the moment. There's that much happening around the country. What is this? Everyone. Well, good woman, good one. Yeah, no, I don't think we're playing any PlayStation, etc., Tony. It's been a long day. I don't think we'll be playing anything for the next few days anyway, because it'll be just constantly just talking. Well, that's good that they voted. Fair play to them. Let me see, where am I here? It's interesting to hear some of the candidates. Some of the candidates are putting up tweets, etc. So I'm looking at them here, and stuff like that. So we're just been brought to this is my intention now. I don't know what this is worth for them particularly, but we should probably see if we can get more clarification on what this person's on with. But I don't know. Going by this tweet, I don't know. I might be wrong now. Don't shoot the messenger. But I don't know what he. Let me see. I don't know. I just figured this out before I say anything. I don't really know. I can't get any clarification on this. So I suppose we'll wait and see what comes of this. I keep it under my hat for the moment and see what happens. Because I don't really know much about what they're talking about at the moment. So it'd be unwise for me to come out and just say something and it not being true. Probably done. Yeah. So apparently, yeah. Okay, it seems to be true. This seems to be true. Yeah. Hello, friends. How are you doing? Pretty good, and hopefully so. Hopefully, but no, we're just we're just seeing this. So yeah, just seeing this because this is odd. Just to show you, like this is a bit odd. So this is in Limerick City, apparently. I've just seen it. So take for Gavin Wire, because I didn't know was this true. So it seems to be true. Because again, that's what I was looking at a second ago. And Gavin Wire retweeted. So the paper in Limerick City is not an Alcobeck Road. There are a few questions, and Gavin Wiley says that it's on the website that we're throwing an officer. So basically, it's all muddled up basically. So I don't know if this is every ballot, but if so, then this is a problem, particularly. So I don't know. It seems to be like it fucked up a bit. So I don't know. Did anybody from Limerick City notice this? If anybody's here from Limerick City, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but it does look to be like a bit fucked. To be totally honest, not going to lie to you. So I don't know. Anybody know any more about this space? About Dublin? Which about Dublin? And what we got? How? A plastic Irish people? No. But yeah, does anybody know anybody from Limerick City? Like Willie O'Deed's constituency. Elisa Donovan, yeah, that's who she is. Oh yeah, there's no. Well, unless you have to Dublin, I wouldn't go. Never heard. Well, maybe it's just his ballot, that fellow's ballot, but it's like, I don't know. So I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it. I don't know. Yeah, Dublin's just dangerous. It's a very dangerous place. I wouldn't really go out into Dublin unless you have to. It's not that nice place. If that's what you're talking about, I don't know if are you talking about the election or anything? Or you're just talking in general? Um, um, we don't really celebrate it here, Thanksgiving. We don't really celebrate it. There's a lot of good places. Yeah, of course, there's a lot of good places, but it's a lot of things, and it's the be totally honest with them, because I couldn't say it's all lollipop and rainbows, because it is a dangerous city. Like we've seen recently with the Canadian tourist that got killed in Dublin. Like it is a nice place. It's a nice place in Dublin, but unfortunately, it's not the nicest place to go on holidays if you're going on holidays. That make any sense? Especially because it's a whip off to the price you pay for a hotel or anything like that. It'd be insane money. The same as the majority country whip off. So, what are you reporting at the moment in Munster, in the province of Munster? It's fallen behind the 2020 levels. So I don't know. So in Munster, it seems like it's very bad. There's not many people going out. It's behind the 2020 levels, which could be true. So that's what is reporting at the moment in Cork, South Central, Cork City, Cork Southwest, Northwest, Limerick City, County, and Kerry. Kerry turnout is 40% in most places. Tralee and Oban, 32. Yeah, so I don't know. We see what happens in Kerry too. It's going to be very interesting now. It's going to be very interesting. I don't know what way this election is going to go. Like even just as I said earlier on, gathering the feeling on social media, it's very hard to tell. Like it's generally very hard to tell. I couldn't tell you really what kind of government we're waiting for, or who's going to win, or what's going to happen. It's really anybody's guess. To be generally honest with you. Yeah, like don't go to London. Definitely don't go. London's too dangerous too. Like go to the countryside. It's a better place. Like there was a TikTok or something, or YouTube or something that called Dublin the shit or something like that, and the whole media were crying about it in Dublin. Like when I was in Dublin last, O'Connell Street's not the nicest place to go to. That's what you don't feel safe in Dublin. Last time I was in Dublin, didn't feel safe, and that was only in the summertime. It's no problem. But you know yourself, it's not. There's a few problems with it. But anyway. Let's see. So I'm just reading up on different things here that's happening because there's so much. The right place, yeah. Well, the thing about this is always been in the right place too. It's the people who could run into. That's the problem. Like yeah, just looking at this too in the Gaeltacht, like in Donegal, sorry, Donegal. The Gaeltacht, there's a lot of people voting in the Gaeltacht. Like it's one of the highest nearly in the country. The amount of people voting in the Gaeltacht, like turning up the vote. It's quite insane the numbers. In one area in the Gaeltacht, it's 52%. But they'd be all voting for Sinn Féin. It was busy enough, yeah. Yeah, see, they're all getting busy now because people just want to go now. But in the Gaeltacht, yeah, it's very busy now. It must be on that. So this is just in too from Radio Television Sherman. That they're predicting that it'll be 30 at the moment as of 5 o'clock. As of 5 o'clock, they're predicting that it'll be as of 5 o'clock. So as of 5 o'clock, it'll be 5 o'clock. Right, that's what I said there beforehand. As of 5 o'clock gone by, the average of the country, basically the estimated national turnout, is 33.5%, which is still good because again we do have the updated figures. It's more in the last hour things are picked up. So, but how many would you say there was there when you were there, Fiona? Just for argument's sake, you don't have to say there was 9 million people, but for argument's sake, how many people were there? 5, 10, 20? Oh, if that's anybody else here, how many people were there when you were in, say, the last hour, the last 2 hours? Yeah, so it is confirmed that the turnout in Munster, particularly Cork, Kerry, and that area, it's slower than 2020. So I don't know what's happened in Munster, but nobody seems to want to vote in Munster. About 40, Jesus, the car park was full. Everybody, you brought everybody with you, Fiona. You wanted to bring everybody with you. You must have got a bus and said to everybody, hop in. I'll bring you to the voting station. You know, where was that tea? I drank it up. That's great. Well, that's great to see. Because everyone, as I say, up and down the country, up until 1 o'clock, like literally today, it was atrocious, the turnout. So it's good that it's picking up. I think people are starting to realise that Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael could be back in power. Men coming home from work, yeah, that too. I think a lot of people are starting to realise that they could get back into power, Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. I think that's what's awakening up a lot of people now at the moment too. And the old ones, yeah. Well, see, the Christmas lights are going on down here, so after that, there'll be a ton of people going to vote here. I say after Mass, of course, too. Like just looking at some of the accounts on Twitter here, I'm not going to show them, but just looking at it here, like this, people are like basically begging people to go and vote at the moment. Like there's one person here I'm looking at and they're saying the vote for people before profit. Like literally having a meltdown. The people not going to vote before profit. Like some of the things I'm seeing on Twitter is insane. That's what I'm trying to say. Do it for the tree. Yeah, I have the Christmas tree up. I haven't got the Christmas decorations up here. Usually we put Christmas decorations up here. That's going to come. I'm waiting until after the election before we start tricking at that. But the one up downstairs is up. It's up. Yeah, I meant to take a picture of it, but never got around to doing it. I have it all up the tree and everything, and the bulbs and all that. I get a picture of it soon. So just to say, for the other live stream that we're going to do later on, it is going to be a bit after 10. I don't know what time, but that's when the poll comes out. Obviously, there'll be 100 million things to talk about when that comes out. Because we're going to get... it won't show us the whole picture, of course, on what's happening, but it's going to show us a bit of the picture, what's going on around the country. So at least we know some kind of thing. Into December, yeah. I just wanted to get it done. I only put it up there literally Saturday gone by. I done it because I knew because the election, like this is going to go in anyway to Tuesday. Like the last vote to be counted probably Tuesday or Wednesday next week. Because you have to probably make a mistake and there'll be a week out and the week out and the week out, etc., etc. Of course I did. Of course I did. I was out literally at 7 o'clock voting, like literally the earliest voter in the county. Like quite literally. So quite literally. Like literally, there was nobody else there. Like so even the people that were in the polling station were just coming in before I was there. Like literally, just when I was going there. So literally, the first person in my area to vote. So voting for the presidency, there was general election at Dáil Éireann, the Parliament. The presidential elections next year at some point, and next year or something. Yeah, 6:50, 6:59 I was tucked in, and they gave me the paper exactly 7 o'clock. So that was the time. So I say it was done. It was done all before 7:04, because basically I knew the outlet. Like I knew where the candidates were that wanted to vote for, basically, and I knew already who I was voting for. Like some people said, there's a person that walked with me, and he didn't know who he was going to vote for. He only went in, and he basically just done at the last minute. He decided on the spot who he was going to vote for. He didn't make up his mind beforehand, so he just basically went in and voted for whoever. But I knew exactly where this person was on the ballot, where this person was. So basically, I just had to go in there, and it was only 6 times, and just making sure that I had it right the way I wanted it. And that was what it. So that's why it only took me literally only 4 minutes to do it, to get it in the box, etc., etc. Because I knew where they were and I knew the pictures, etc., etc. So I got it all done and dusted. So yeah, I don't think anybody can complain, because literally not many people in Cavan going by from, I have the figures here across Cavan and Monaghan, from literally 7 o'clock where I went to vote that time to 10 o'clock. It was terrible. It was atrocious. Like in Beltober, I particularly said earlier on, there was only a few people, and literally probably only, well, that means by a few people, less than 20 people maybe went between them times in Beltober. And this, there was nobody really in Cavan Town went in to vote at all between them times. So, not many people bothered to go and vote early in the morning, if that makes any sense. Because it was, like, again, particularly when I was just about to go to work, I'd done a live stream just before I was about to go to work, like I had to go to work after it. Not many people would do that. Like I had to get up a whole hour early. Usually get up at 6 or 6:30 in the morning to go to work, etc., to get ready to work at 8 o'clock. Celebration stream, Jason. We're not going to do a Fianna Fáil celebration stream. If Fianna Fáil, if Bertie O'Heron gives me if he bets a bit of money on the horses, we might see about it. If he gives us a few bucks on the horses, and a few brown envelopes would be lovely. Thank you, Bertie. If you could do that, Bertie, that'd be great. So if Bertie O'Heron is around, I'm open for the racing, the horse racing. And we can talk about it then. How does that sound? So at the moment, the majority across the whole country, so this is from Radio Television, is reaching 40% across several counties at the moment. Now, just to say to anybody, you still have time. If you haven't voted yet, you have until 10 o'clock. So another 4 and a bit hours. So 4 hours, yeah, that's open. Yeah, well, I don't know. It's hard to know what's going to happen. But Fianna Fáil is going to lose a seat probably in Cavan. I definitely do think Niamh Smith's going to lose her seat in Cavan. I do think she's going to lose her seat. I don't know where that seat's going to go, but I do think she could lose it. Like Brendan Smith, I say, is safe enough. But I don't think Niamh Smith's safe. I don't think Niamh Smith's going to be safe in terms of keeping her seat. So what I'm trying to say is Fianna Fáil is only going to have one seat in Cavan. What I think is going to happen. I could be wrong, but that's what it seems like at the moment. With the feeling on the ground, but who knows? She could get a few voters that didn't decide. We don't know. I wish I could tell you, but I don't know. So we don't know. Big discussion. So yeah, that's that. Out before, yeah, it was literally. I remember literally, like I walked out the door, Tony, like off the pole, off the skewer down here. Like I literally was walking out the time. Like literally took out my phone. Exactly 7:04. Like literally as soon as I walked to the door after putting the ballot paper into the box. Exactly 7:04. So because I knew, again, as I said, other people had to look for the candidates. I knew where the candidates were. I seen the paper. So I knew where, say, Fallon Martin was. I knew where he was. I knew he was there. I knew Sarah Wiley was there. So basically, I just had to go and put the number what I wanted to the box. So basically, the only thing that took up the most time was making sure that I have the way I wanted the vote, I have the right numbers in each box, basically. And it was only 6 votes, but just making sure I had it in the right place. So only for that, that's what took up the majority of the time. I'm just making that. And as I say, there wasn't one point after I left. It was 15 minutes after I left before somebody else voted. So I was literally the first person, and 15 minutes later, somebody voted. after me. So for 15 minutes after I left, nobody voted. So that's how slow it was, really. It's the same when take for example the referendum. I was literally the first person there again. Like I literally was there. Like I literally was there before anybody else. Like literally there, and I was there a longer time. Like I was waiting 10 minutes outside the polling station that time for the open. At least this time I was only there 3 minutes in the fats, basically, just before 7. Like before, the other time was insane. There fucking 10 minutes before the time. So. Oh, never, he never bothered. Oh, he didn't bother, so it wasn't a mistake kind of thing. Voted for Fianna Fáil. Yeah, see, the elderly people always vote Fianna Fáil. But particularly, like, Fianna Fáil tried to, what they're trying to do, and you know yourself, they're trying to get the elderly vote. Like, they're desperately trying to get the elderly vote. We've heard Micheál Martin would put the state pension up. Like, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to get the old vote, because he knows he's not going to get the young vote. So that's what he did. So he's trying to get the elderly people to vote for them. Like, that's all they're trying to do. And he might not do it. So we see what happens. I don't know. It's going to be, but I do think they're going to lose a seat in Cavan. Like, I'm 100% sure Neil they would lose a seat. Like, I'm going to be very surprised, because particularly as I said with RT, is Niamh Smith being the chair of the Public Accounts Committee, that really damaged them. That really damaged them here. So I don't know how bad, but that's the thing. How bad is the damage? Like, if it's minor, then she survived. But if it's dead, if it's severe, then she's lost all her votes. Because in the last election too, she kind of scraped in, really, in a way, with about 1,000 or 2,000 votes. That's about it. But it sounds a lot, but in theory, it's not. Because the people behind her was literally just right behind her, so it's all really the play for, really. Again, I know I'm a bit all over the place. There's that much happening, as I say. It's half of the things I'm looking at the screen here, I could say, but it's just far too much, and I would drive everybody up the bend if I went on. So yeah, apparently in Munster it's pretty bad. So apparently the turnout in Munster is the worst in the country. Yeah, I know. I didn't do a short video. Well, yeah, you mean the short video outside the polling station when I was walking up the road? Yeah, I did put up a short just saying I voted. Like, I didn't video. You can't video inside the polling station, and I wouldn't do it anyway, to be told Lindsay. Because there's only people just, nobody was there at that time I was there. But, the two workers that were there in the booth, it wouldn't be fair on them putting them up on the internet and them just trying to do their job, It wouldn't be fair on them, to record them. Still fortunate. But yeah, like the young people, we already seen the polls, particularly for 18 to 34s. It's insane. Like, it's insane. Look at the poll from 18 to 34 for Sinn Féin. It's quite insane. It's in the 30s, 40s%. For young people, Sinn Féin didn't get one reference of me, just to say. And I'm in that neighbour and didn't get one. And they won't get one. They've done no addition. Maybe 20 years ago, 30 years ago, Sinn Féin was some addition, but not nowadays. There's no addition. So, and I haven't seen one, like, the only people I had around my doorstep were Fianna Fáil like, people. I didn't have people before profit. I didn't have Fine Gael. I didn't have Sinn Féin. Basically, they all must be asleep, because there were none of them came around to me. None of them. So, yeah, I think you can, but I'm not too sure. Is it 16? I thought it was 17. Maybe I'm wrong. I could do. I'm not too sure, but I think it's not 17. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it now. But I thought it was 17. Yeah, they're completely different. Even in the early 2000s, they're completely different because of what they are now. Like, they're just totally woke nowadays. Years ago, they didn't really believe in all that. Like even take for example 20 years ago. It's in the last 10 years they've really gone down track, um, and that's what fucked them over. So yeah, just to say, we will be live later on. Just to say, at 10 when the polls do come out, like the opinion polls, basically. Um, so that's what we're going to do anyway at that time. Well, Jerry Adams not really has anything to do with it. He's not the president of Sinn Féin or anything. But that's what we're going to do at 10. So I don't know what time. It might be half 10. Because I have to look through it. I've briefly look through the poll before I go live. Just so I know what I'm talking about. Radio Television Sharing at the moment is reporting about the west of the country, Galway, South Hill, around that area. The same is gradual and steady, like in Donegal and Galway. So it's not as big as turnout probably as the think it would have been. Like sorry, I'm looking at 100. Like this, like Twitter is literally just flying by at the moment. Like it's literally on my screen. You probably can see the flashes. It's just flying by my screen, like everything on Twitter. Like there's a million posts a minute. Now we're not on my screen, but so many people are just posting about different things to do with the election. It's just that much information. I have to try and figure out what's what and what's going on. So if you see me just staring into the computer, that's the reason why I'm just trying to figure out different things, what's being said. So there is a suggestion. There's a suggestion. So just looking at a few people that have done like a mock-up opinion poll, basically, on what they think is going to happen. So just looking at one of these on Twitter now, the suggesting Fianna Fáil get 48 seats and Sinn Féin get 41, and Fine Gael get 37, and Independents get 21. I can't tell you how accurate that is, but it could be. It could be right. I don't know, to be totally honest, but they could be right. But I'm not going to show it because people probably think it's actually opinion poll. Now the wokeness, yeah, just that's all Sinn Féin stands for nowadays. Um, um, some of the things you see on Twitter is up, and you have to question reality when you see some of the stuff I'm looking at on Twitter at the moment in terms of the election. Like some people are just, I don't know what to say to you, because it's insane. But anyway, what do we think? What do we think at the moment? What's going to happen? Does anybody know? Does anybody want to make a prediction or anything? And what they think is going to happen? Who's going to be in government? Is your local TD, the people that you voted for, going to get in? You don't have to say now, obviously, of course, who you voted for. It's your own business, I suppose. But do you think they will get in? The people that you voted for, do you think they're likely to get in? What do you think? Yeah. Might have shake a pub for himself, yeah, hopefully. I haven't seen, but in Munster in general, like in Cork and in Kerry, around that part of the country, it's a very slow turnout. So not many people are going out to vote in that area of the country for whatever reason. So in Dublin, going by OT at the moment here, it's very slow turnout in Dublin. Like it's not as much as there was in 2020. So I don't know what that means, to be honest. Answer. Um, um, Patrick Quinlan, yes. Um, I think we'd maybe leave it there for the moment. Uh, so I just prefer, so we'll be back at 10:30 or so, around that time. Could be 11 o'clock. I'm going to go through all the figures and to do with the like do with the poll when it comes out. Now it's not going to be definite the poll, but just to know what is what the like what to expect, I suppose. It's going to be mighty interesting now, to be totally honest. Um, yeah, he's still alive. Yeah, he'd probably go for the presidency. I think he's going to go with the put him for the presidency next year. Sinn Féin's candidate for the presidency. I do think he probably will. I don't know. He'd be about 71 or something like that, something around that. Uh, no, that's what I think he will. I think he will go for the presidency. Sinn Féin put him for the presidency. Um, because really, that's where they are. Yeah, I do, see. It's hard to know. It's hard to know at the moment. But I haven't heard anything from up in his area in Kingscourt. Because where the main votes Fallon Martin's going to get in Cavan. Obviously, in the town, he do well enough because obviously he used to be detective sergeant. But he's going to get the majority of votes in Kingscourt around that area of Cavan. He will get votes up here. I've encouraged a few people in this area to vote for him. But the majority of his bread and butter votes are going to come from Kingscourt up that direction, around them small villages up there around Kingscourt, in Cavan Town, as I say, even in Clonus too. He was known in Clonus too. Um, so I don't know. We see how it goes. I know. Um, but yeah, anything else to say before we go for the moment? We'll be back later on tonight. Like tomorrow, just to say too, we're going to be live probably 9:30 or so because we're going to be getting the results all the time. So at least tomorrow, uh, you'll be hearing me giving out fuck tomorrow for a long time. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Because to be cheaties getting in that I probably absolutely despise, and who knows what I could say about some of them. Yes, there'll be obviously not just the Cavan Mon election, take for example. God forbid no more Foley gets in. But um, that's the results we're going to get tomorrow. So from about 9:30 tomorrow. That's what the voting starts at 9 o'clock, but we start here at 9:30. How does that sound? And we stay live for a good bit, and we'll probably be live throughout nearly the day, to be done. So we'll be talking about many different things. Because there'll be just constantly results coming in of who's been kicked out of got the lowest, been disqualified, I suppose the word should say, who's got in, etc., etc. But we still don't know. She's probably like in the poll that was done recently. Uh, she was in a good enough chats. I hate to say it, but she was in with a good enough chats. But all that could have changed. Hello, Evan. How are you doing? No, only one vote. You're the only like. Imagine you're the only person I think that said the only vote for one candidate. Uh, like I haven't heard anybody else that because everybody else is always given a few votes. Well, not even that. There's many more things I could say, but no one voting. But yeah, long story short, we'll be back at 10:30 or so. It might be 11 o'clock. We see. I have to go through the numbers that come out. It's only going to be a poll now, but we have a rough idea maybe what's the story, on what's going, etc. So there's a lot of information to talk about there. So pretty much at the moment, the only thing we were talking about is how many people are turning up, etc., etc., and the difference in the numbers across the country. So we should see what happens. An episode 100 times bios, yeah. It probably is wrong a bit. Should be two more because we probably oftentimes put the same number. But tomorrow night, tomorrow is one at 9:30. Tomorrow morning, hopefully all going well. We're going to just call the election something. We're not going to call the cavan in for tomorrow because we were just literally on about the election for the whole day nearly. Quite literally, probably nearly here the whole day talking about the election. Oh, very good, Michelle Keaton got your vote. Very good. I'm good. Happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. But we see. Hopefully, no more vote doesn't get. But we'll talk about. We'll be basically here all day tomorrow, talking about who got in, who didn't get in. What's happening here, etc., etc. Oh, I think we all know who he voted for. He definitely voted for Niall McConnell. Definitely 100. I presume he did. I might be wrong, but I think he did. But now I don't know. I'm not psychic or anything, but I presume he did. I presume he did. I'm not too sure now. But just helping a guess. What is this now, son? So yeah, for the moment I leave is to it. We'll be back at 10:30 tonight. We're not finished for tonight. I'm not going to bed tonight now, unfortunately. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning. When I wake, it's 4 o'clock. The night's not over yet, unfortunately. I'm probably not going to be over now for the next few nights too. And it's going to be an early start tomorrow too. So is that okay? So I will talk to you at 10:30. We will probably know roughly what's going to happen. So bear with me. Again, it'll be probably 10:30, 11 o'clock, but we definitely are going to be live because we have to know. We have to kind of go through the poll, what the poll suggests. Now, it's not going to probably be accurate, maybe, but just to get an average of what we're in for, basically. If that makes any sense, and we can go through it a bit. How does that sound? Because there's a lot of stuff coming in still at the moment, as I say. It's just it's very difficult, to talk about it all. So yeah, I talked to you at 10:30 or 11 o'clock tonight. We probably won't be long. We'll go through the poll. We'll probably be into 12 o'clock anyway. So if we do start at 11 or so, and then obviously tomorrow morning, as I say, if anybody's not here doing things later on, going to bed, we'll be here from 9:30 or so tomorrow morning. I don't know how long, but we'll be here for a good bit talking about the start off to the election, etc., etc. Particularly focusing on Cavan and Monaghan, but not. We'll be talking about every other, whatever results come in, we talk about. How does that sound? It's going to be a long day now tomorrow, just to say. So, and you have to kind of bear with me because it's going to be that much information. It's going to drive me to Monaghan, and we don't want to go there. It's not a nice place, Monaghan, as they say. But anyway, I'll be back at 10:30. So, I stopped to talk to the Healy Way's son. Told him I saw the notes. So yeah. Yeah, well, the Healy Ways probably are going to top the poll anyway. I presume they probably will. I don't think there's anything really to stop them topping the poll. But we'll see what happens. I talked to you later at 10:30. Well, hopefully we'll have the poll and all that so we can have an idea what's happening. Thank you.